Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. This post is dedicated to those of you who've sent me questions and information about a catastrophe this week in California and the west coast of North America. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not, but what I can point out is what is interesting about the video that has made this rumor viral. It's this video, but it's more than just this individual. And I can also show you how the date he's predicting syncs up really well with the plane crash in the Alps flown by the pilots with initials AL and PS. I'm talking about the Germanwings crash from March 24th of this year. Andreas Lubitz. We'll look at that as well and show how that connects to this research. But before we do that, I just want to watch a little bit about this video. Watch a little bit of it. Hear him make his prediction, and I want to point out what's curious about his prediction in numerology, Truth Seeker, because there's something weird here. I also looked at this video channel. This is his first video to ever go viral. He has 25 videos now. He's made a bunch since this one. Before that, his account was a little less than a year old, and he hadn't made, maybe this was his 15th video or so. First one to go viral, though. We'll talk more about him, too. But, let's listen to what he says and listen with your numerology ears. See if you can tell what is important about the day he names right away. We'll go over it together. Let's listen first.
The 12th of August 2013, I received an important message. Well, for me it felt important, and I explained that I felt it came directly from Spirit. And this message, what they told me, what I was being told, is that there would be a very, very large earthquake or some kind of major event with very, very much energy release. And at the time, the message was that it would be on the west coast of North America, and it would be comparable to a magnitude 9.8 earthquake. Okay. Now, I always felt that this message was very important. And people asked me when that earthquake would be, and I asked the same question. I didn't receive the answer. So, and if I put out the message like that, people may expect an earthquake within a couple of months or maybe within a year, and then if it doesn't occur, then you lose interest. Well, if you receive a message like that, it may be 5 years, 7 years. You know, no one knows. However, I'm doing this update because now I believe I know when exactly it is going to be. And believe me, I hope I am dead wrong. Believe me, I really hope I am dead wrong. But the information that I have right now, that I have collected throughout the years, and the calculations that I did with number theory, for me, this is very important as a extra confirmation. And it really all falls together, it comes together on May 28, 2015. Okay? So keep that date in mind. May 28, 2015.
Okay, so he's predicting May 28th, 2015, something big coming to the west coast of North America, possibly more. And if you listen to the video, he talks about California. Real quick, I just want to point out that the date he started with was August 12th, 2013. 8 plus 12 is 20 for August 12th. August is the 8th month, plus 13 more for the year. This is a date with 33 numerology. And that isn't to discredit what he's saying. In my own life, I've noticed that a lot of very special days for me have had these significant numerology tributes. So I'm not discrediting him, I'm just saying that's interesting. His revelation came on a date with 33 numerology, August 12th, 2013. He made his prediction on a date with 48 numerology, April 29th, 2015 is what day this video is from. The date that he's predicting the big event also has this numerology. And both 4 plus 29 equals 33 and 5 plus 28 equals 33. Doesn't mean anything, just interesting observations. This is his name in Gematria. Just give it a peek, see if anything interesting pops up. He has a website here if you want to check out his website. Link to the same videos there. Here's what I want to point out with California first that's interesting. He's talking about the date, May 28th, often written here 5/28. California in English gematria sums to 528. That's just where you take the simple English gematria and multiply by 6. 88 times 6 is 528. So California has a connection to May 28th. As a kid growing up in Oregon State, just north of California, the lottery for many years ran an ad that said "Feeling Lucky," and it showed California breaking off the map and falling into the Pacific. And that mentality has been in the Pacific Northwest because the population growth up here has been fueled by California people moving northward to Oregon and Washington. And my point in bringing that up is that this imagery has been with us for all of our lives and shown to us in so many ways. Music, movies, advertisements. And if you watch this guy's video, he talks about California falling off into the ocean, you know? Something that's been themed to us before. Something that I cannot fathom myself. I mean, it's a lot of land. It's a lot of land. We will see. So, here's where it gets creepier, though, Truth Seeker. Remember this Andreas Lubitz, the suicidal pilot who flew the plane of 144 people into the Alps? His name was Andreas Lubitz. The other pilot was Patrick Sonnenheimer, A-L-P-S, Alps. Anyway, that crash happened March 24th. 66 days from March 24th is 5/29, May 29th, the 149th day of the year, the day this movie San Andreas is supposed to release. And what I'm pointing out also, Truth Seeker, is that if you watch this video, the one we started with, he predicts that the thing will probably happen at nighttime, late in the evening. He specifies that late in the evening he suspects. And May 29th Universal Standard Time, it'll still be May 28th in the United States and California. We're hours behind Universal Time. So May 28th and May 29th will be happening simultaneously in different parts of the world. May 29th is interesting for California as well. This span of 66 days, this connects to last San Francisco earthquake and the World Series won by the San Francisco Giants. If you can recall, San Francisco, and the reason I'm talking about San Francisco Truth Seeker is because Andreas Lubitz, this pilot, was shown over and over in our media, pictured in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, over and over and over. In San Francisco, they won the World Series last year on October 29th, 2014, a date with 53 numerology. And everything about that day was connected to the number 53. The Giants won 3 out of the last 5 World Series. They won it with Bruce Bochy. Bochy's a 53 name. Giants won their first World Series once upon a time. 5-3 over the New York Yankees. They were the Giants of New York back then. Anyhow, that World Series was won exactly 66 days after the San Francisco earthquake. The worst earthquake since the '89 World Series. And what I want to point out is that World Series in Gematria sums to 66, like the span of days between the San Francisco earthquake, August 24th, and the day they won the World Series, September 29th. Here again, we have another span of 66 days. From March 24th, the date of the plane crash, till May 29th, the 149th day of the year, the day San Andreas, the movie, releases. Notice this is also a span of 9 weeks and 3 days, like the number Thelema, do what thou wilt, 93. The movie that releases is called San Andreas. San Andreas has the gematria of 96. In that movie, the Golden Gate Bridge is showing about to be wiped out by a giant tsunami. The Golden Gate Bridge sums to 96 itself, matching the fault line, matching the word Freemason. Also, True Seeker, it's the USGS that measures earthquakes, and they have a 66 gematria themselves, showing this important connection between 66 and earthquakes. Here's the Andreas Lubitz image. This is what they kept showing him. They were talking about this suicidal pilot who did this awful thing with 144 passengers in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, even though the story was over in the Alps. True Seeker, with regards to the Golden Gate Bridge, it has connections to this date as well. It was opened in history May 27th, 1937. Notice this is the day before May 28th. The day after it was opened, however, FDR did this walk across the bridge and had a grand opening celebration party. This is May 28th, 1937. I recently did a video post about the death of the Tubular Bells singer and showed how it was showing all this importance of 37 and 73. And this is what the media does, True Seeker. They bombard us with numbers at periods of time. And I'm not exactly sure what the full meaning of it is, but we start getting hit with these numbers over and over that are very significant for the time. Recently, LeBron James just set a record taking 37 field goal attempts and only scoring 37 points with those attempts, but it was this double 37 emphasis. And he did that on a date with 44 numerology, and the team won with 114 points. If you've been watching my posts on the Cleveland Cavaliers, that all makes perfect sense. If you're watching one of my videos for the first time, your head's probably spinning and you're wondering what I'm talking about. But the point is, True Seeker, is numbers are being orchestrated in this world. The bosses, the people who run things behind the scenes, who give us our media, who give us our information, who give us our sports teams, they are literally pulling strings and arranging things by the numbers. There is no doubt about this. The other thing I want to point out, True Seeker, is that this date, with this gematria method, 5 for the month, 28 for the day, and then you add the year in 2 parts, it sums to 89 this way. Just this past weekend, John Nash died at the age of 89. His name sums... Excuse me, he didn't die at the age of 89. He died at the age of 86, but his name gematria is 89. And this is another number of much importance. Everything that's happening around us is a big web. Everything that is presented in the media is within this web, and if you learn how to decode the numbers, you will see this clearer and clearer with each day. But to get back to the main point, True Seeker, something might be forecast for California for May 28th. I don't know if it's going to be this year, though. The person who did this video, perhaps he's one of the shills, the disinformation agents, but all shills put out some truth. Perhaps May 28th in a future year will be the date, if not this week. You know, we saw what a connection it has to California. And everything that's happening and everything that he predicted in this video is things that have been said before, constantly reminded to us in our consciousness. For all my life growing up on the West Coast, we've been told a massive earthquake is going to hit here. We're going to experience a very, very bad earthquake someday. Recently, in the end of 2012, the BBC did a documentary saying that Seattle, Washington, or Portland, Oregon, just north of California, both cities, will be the first major city to experience a 9.0 or higher earthquake. Anybody can watch that documentary on YouTube. It just makes you wonder, how could they ever forecast such a thing? The first cities to ever experience a 9.0 or greater earthquake. In those videos, they theorize just how many people could be wiped out at once. And that's the other thing to keep in mind, Truth Seeker. The people who really govern this world, who orchestrate all this, they have wiped out nations of people before. We're quick to forget that, but that's what happened to the Native Americans. A purposeful genocide by chemical warfare. So stay on guard. If nothing happens this weekend, that doesn't mean tune out. It just means be aware. People who are aware will have an advantage. You're likely more likely to have water on hand, blankets if you need them, first aid kit. The things that could be the difference between surviving 3 days and having a really awful, possibly fatal 3 days. You know what I mean? All right, Truth Seeker. Till next time.